So let's talk a little bit about relationships. Okay. All right. So we've talked. Like okay. All right. So what do you think it takes for a successful relationship?
There's a lot. Well, it's actually not that much. I feel like
It's simple.
it is pretty simple. Matthew and I are long distance, so I would say, well, period for any relationship, but especially if you're dealing with being long distance, communication is key.
All caps.
Like
every letter.
Every letter is in caps, like across the screen.
Break that down, because I feel like that's such a cliche term that people just think that it's just.
You're right. Well, the reason why I say communication is key is because you got to be able to talk, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not about.
You have to be able to
listen. Listening is just as important, if not more important, than talking. And actually, Matthew and I was we have this thing where we send each other like voice memos and just tell each other like why we love each other. It can be 1 minute, 5 minutes, miles 5 minutes, but
Man, hey, that's so cute. Hey, that's so cute. Hey, you need to do that. Like what voice memo to tell your person why you love them. Try it out.
Just
that's
random.
Good stuff.
It's just random, but
that's good.
One
it's
of
really
the
like
things,
a what's on your heart.
It is like a what's on your heart.
That's a plug right there. That's a plug right there. You're on chip.
Hey, it ain't the connect, it's the plug.
Y'all have me dead. But one of the things that I told him that I was so grateful for is the fact that he listens to me.
Yeah.
And so, like, if something's going on in my day, you know, something happened at work, something happening at school, he's always there to just listen. And sometimes, you know, you need that. You just need to just let go of your day, let go of what happened, and the way to do that is just talk about it. Even when you and your significant other, because don't get me wrong, relationships are challenging because each and every day you have to learn how to work with someone else, work with their feelings, try to understand their feelings, and there's not going to be happy times 24/7. If you are in a relationship where y'all are happy all the time, that's not a relationship, right?
And there's a word you said in there. You said work.
Right. It's work.
Like anything that's worth it for you.
You gotta work for it.
Yeah. And you want to put the work in for it.
Yeah. Matthew and I will get in little tiffs or disagreements. We don't like to say arguments, but we'll get in disagreements about stuff. But one of the key things that we've learned that just helps us, that I'm sure will help you guys out there, is communicate with one another. If you feel a certain way about something, don't just, and I know for me, he had to help me a lot with this, because I would just shut down and I don't want to talk about it and I'm over it. Yeah. I'm in my attitude and I want to be in my, I'm not over it for real, right? You know.
She's over talking about it.
It ain't over.
It is still there. Over.
But he like forces me to, let's keep talking about it until we get to the bottom of it, or at least until we come into an understanding. And I feel like that has helped us tremendously. And not just, of course, because we're talking about disagreements and stuff, but the good things. Tell each other about, the good things that happen in each other's lives. And I don't know, honey, if you want to expand.
I think that's amazing, too. You know, I heard some guy from where I'm from, when he say, shoot, boy, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You gotta listen twice as much as you talk.
Yes.
You know.
That's true.
And that's, I think, the people that can take a deep breath and listen, you probably learn some things.
Right.
I think, and then listening, I think that's something that's big. Like she said, me being a great listener, just because I know that, like you said, some people, they just need to be heard. Some people need to be heard. And I feel like, and it's not only listening, communication is verbal and nonverbal.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that I committed to doing when I first started talking to her, when I knew, is I watched her. You know what I'm saying? I listened and I watched her. I tried to, it's almost like a subject, like you study. And so I just tried to study, try to learn everything. So if something's off, I can tell. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, y'all finna take some notes on this.
Nah, but it was like in school. You know what I'm saying? When you're interested in something, you study it. So I watched it. I listened to it. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. Like I listen to how many times she sneezed. I watch how she eat things. Everything. I used to try to do that because I was so fascinated and I liked it so much at the point that I was trying to learn. And so communicating wise, when we talked about that, and see, that's the thing. It's like when you know who you're dealing with, and vice versa. And you know each other. You know how to communicate.
Right.
I know how to come. Like, it's certain things, like I said, I'm a very, very blunt and direct person.
Right.
I know she's sensitive.
Yeah.
So I can say things that can hurt her feelings.
And you have to be aware of how you say
right.
it.
Yeah. And so, you know, just...
And his intentions aren't to hurt my feelings, obviously, but that's, again, learning how to communicate with one another and then learning one another. Like, he knows I'm a sensitive person, so sometimes it's not what he says, it's how he says it to me.
And learning how to take criticism without being offended.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really like that. And it's so natural for her. Like, and I do the same thing she does sometimes, too. It's like, you say something, it's like, all of a sudden, we're going to get mad. Like, oh, why you... It said, like, you saying, take me breath. I'm like, okay, you didn't really like X, Y, Z. Like you said, it's just work. Because there's definitely times where there's things where she says that she doesn't like that maybe I don't agree with or whatever. And it's vice versa. But it's kind of like, well, it's being intentional. Like, love is a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, love is not some emotion that people get, whatever. It being in love is an emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Being in love is emotion. But people fall in and out of love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
People fall in and out, like, you're not always going to wake up and be, you feel me, like, oh, I'm just so in love for all the time. Like, love is a choice. Love is choosing to treat somebody in the way that they need to be treated, the way that they should be treated, you know, loving people in the way that, because we get caught up in trying to love people in a way that we feel like they need to be loved. Well, this is love. Like, I'm showing you this. This is love. But it's like, the whole time they could be sitting there on E. Like, I don't even feel love to you at all. It's why people, you know, some people, like, they buy their girl a whole bunch of stuff. And then their girl feel like they don't even care about it.
Right.
Like, oh, I got you all these bags and this. Like, well, that's not how she
But you're not paying attention to the details that make me tick.
Right.
And so, everything you said is like, everybody receives love
differently
in different ways.
Yeah.
I think too, when you have a person like you saying that stuff, you know, I'm doing the mental checklist, right? You know, in my head, I'm like, yeah. You know, those are things that you have to do, and you know, I've done those things too. You know, that's how you have. But for instance, like how you said, you know, like I studied her.
Yeah.
You know, like I watched, you know, how she moved. Like I watched, you know, everything. You know, from that perspective, that shows her that, hey, like it really means something to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
But it's stuff I noticed about her she didn't even know I knew.
Right, and then too, like when you get in situations or things that come up, and you are like, hey, you know, you need this, or you know, you come through with what she needs.
Right.
She's like, hey, how'd you know that? You know, like she's thinking that. Like she may not say it, but she's thinking it. Like, how'd you know? Like, girl, I got you. You know what I mean? I've been watching you, girl.
One of the first things we did was we read this book. It's the 5 Love Languages. And
I had already read it. I bought it for you.
Well, yeah. But he gave me this book. And this book really did open my eyes because it just teaches you how every person loves differently. I mean, even in your family. Like,
Oh,
the way he accepts love is completely different from the way I accept love. For instance, his number one thing is... oh my God!
Fruit snacks.
No, well, no, he do love fruit snacks. He do love fruit snacks.
Like, baby, I got you some fruit. Oh, no, girl, I love you, girl.
Right.
That is love. I take that as love for sure.
No, his number one thing though is words of affirmation.
Right.
And so, meaning that little things such as like a nice text, or you know, if I send him, for instance, the voice memo and things like that, that makes Matthew feel loved. That makes Matthew feel that's special
because he knows. Like you're taking time out of your busy day
to be intentional.
Yeah, to be intentional to show me that you're thinking about me.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Love isn't. It's and what's what I'm learning because I don't know it all, but just from like I said, I watched. Like I said this long time. Like we talked about. Like I wasn't a big school person.
Right.
I tried to be a life. That's how I learned. Like I watch people.
Oh, that's probably better.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I watch people. I like analyze myself. Like I try to do all this type of things to put stuff together, and I wasn't like a big lecture person, and so like, you know, learning in that, I just see now that like love is intentional. Like it's not something that's just a by chance thing. Like the emotion, infatuation is can be unintentional. You know, some people just fall in love with people, I can't control it. But like actually loving people.
That's a Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Infatuation. R&B. Like,
but yeah,
he's an R&B guy.
But yeah, I thought about it a long time ago. And, you know, in 1 Corinthians 13, when it talks about love is patient, love is kind, does not envy. Yeah. All these things that people look at that and they say, well, I saw some. I gotta stop saying trash all the time. I say trash about everything, but it was some trash post on Twitter, and it was like, oh, it had the whole thing about in the Bible that love is patient, love is kind, does not envy, does not boast, all those things going down the whole thing. 1 Corinthians 13, 1-6, and then it said, oh, so if it didn't have that, then it wasn't real love. That's not true. Right. It is true, but it's not true. The thing about that is that love is patient, love is kind because I choose to be patient.
It's choice.
And choose to be kind with you.
Everything
you know what I'm saying? Choice. Yeah, and that's the thing that people are like, oh, well, when you love somebody, you just automatically act like that. That's not true.
No.
That's not true.
Not at all.
I just choose to treat you, and you choose to treat me in that way. But yeah, man, like, I forgot what my other point was. What was you talking about, baby?
I was talking about the love languages.
Yeah, like hers is her number one is like physical touch. So she like to be hugged, hold hands. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Kiss on the cheek. Look at you. You talking about so that's how she feels. Like, you know, if we just walk in, I just put my arm around her. That's how she feels love. You know what I'm saying? So like if we on the couch, she don't want it to be sitting like this. She want to be
gotta be all booed up. All booed up.
Yeah.
Come on, girl.
I'll be like, girl.
Now you know
Hey, shit, come on.
Y'all know.
Yeah.
No, but and again, some people's love languages is different. So receiving gifts, like you were talking about, some people receiving gifts is their love language, and they like that. I know another one of his is acts of service. So just like little things, like, oh babe, like, you know, did you need me to do this for you? Like, did you want me to do that? Just it was like, oh, you want me? For instance, we set up a new email account for him the other day. I'm not gonna give it to y'all, but we set up a new email account for him the other day, and I helped him with that.
Hey, don't be fooled. I'm sweet
But nah, she good. Yeah, she like a little pit bull.
Yeah, she calls me a little pit bull.
But yeah, but nah, she is like she do all that. Like I mean, I say she do everything for me. She really do. Yeah, it's like,
but vice versa. You know,
and her second one is quality time.
Right.
So it don't matter what we doing as long just be around. You know what I'm saying?
Don't have to be nothing special.
Yeah, we can be sitting on the couch like that's fine. Let's just hang.
But like, uninterrupted time. Not sitting on the phone the whole time, being there, being present. Because a lot of people be there, but don't be present. You know what I'm saying?
That's a gem, people. Put your phones down. Talk to one another.
Just be present.
Just be present.
I remember, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and you talked about that. About Sam. About acts of service. You feel me? But like literally, like we talked about, I said how I know we jumped into another tangent. We're talking about how me and her are predominantly in a long distance relationship. Right. But it taught me how to be present without being present. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to interact with her when we, you know, together all the time because I know how to I've learned to make myself feel present with her over there when I'm not. I've learned how to make her feel like I'm there and comforted and loved, even though I can't be there to be with her and eat with her and do all this different types of stuff every day. And I told you, like, I've been around people to where we've been in the same room. Yeah,
they together. And you can't make
you feel like you're a mile away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could be 2 feet until you feel like you're a mile away, or I can feel like I can actually be 1,000 miles away from her, but feel like I'm close right there. You know, and that all goes into being present and learning how to love somebody.
Yeah, definitely being present is a present.
Literally.
Yeah.
My presence is a present.
Girl,
all right.
She didn't talk, man.
All right, so man, I can't even focus. I'm cracking up, man. So I think those are some great things. If I don't know, just kind of reflecting on if you know, there's some people that are in your shoes. I mean, I think people of all phases of relationships can learn from the things you guys are saying. You know, fresh relationships. You know, a couple year relationships. You know, long term relationships. I think all of the things that you said so far, I think everybody can learn from those things and take those and help, be better at love languages, communication, faith,
right.
Led by faith, putting the work in to make it work.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's work.
Definitely. And it's worth it. It's worth it.
Girl, put your hand down, man.
Pitbull. Pitbull, y'all. Pitbull, no Pitbull. All right. But,
Look at just changed.
No, but, if there's a couple other things that you could think of that someone would maybe need to consider relationship-wise to make sure that, the relationship is on point.
I mean, I say one thing. And we talked about that, but I would say she knows that this is one of my. I had brought this to her. We talked about it. I said it with myself and her, but one of my biggest things is be what you expect.
Yeah.
And I said it, and that sounds like real simple. It is, but it's like literally be what you expect. Like I can't all the doubles. Like we don't have no double standards in our relationship and stuff. It's not like I can. No. You know what I'm saying? We hold each other accountable, but I say it's be what you expect because it's like, if I'm going to feel okay to criticize you on something that you do because I don't like it, I better be okay with you coming doing the same thing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't like you making certain comments or whatever, I better be okay with her saying it, or I better not be doing it either. So being what you expect, because a lot of times we feel so okay. We want to make this person that we with the best person for us, but we don't ever want to be the best person for them. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of
say that again. You look at the camera and say that.
Oh yeah, a lot of us like we want to make the person that we with the best person for us. Like we have this idea of like, oh yeah, this is what my perfect girl gonna be like, but we don't be a dude that deserve that type of girl. You know, like we're wanting stuff that we not eligible for. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I said when I first started praying about it. When I was praying for her, and when I say her, I didn't know it was her at the time. When I started praying for my wife, yes, it was her.
The one,
and it was in April of 2012.
Hey.
But when I finally sat down one night and I started thinking about how amazing I would want my wife to be, right? And all these attributes and characteristics and looks and all this stuff. I'm like, man, this is the perfect girl. And then it finally hit me. I felt like God was like, well, why would she marry you?
Hey, we both
like.
That's good right there. I'm saying that was good. Right?
Yeah. Good. You did a little much.
We both was feeling it.
But it's like, why would she marry you? And I thought about it, like, did I deserve? You know what I'm saying? Am I eligible? Yeah, am I eligible? It's kind of like, do I deserve the type of women that I'm dreaming about? It's kind of like I'm going to school and I don't produce no numbers, but I want an offer from Alabama. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be eligible to receive certain things. You got to, you got to be approved. And I think that's the same thing with God and with different lessons and different tests that we go through, and trials to see how we handle them. Do we pass the test to be able to go to the next level? I got to go through the third floor to get to the fourth.
Yeah.
And if I want to be on the fourth floor and I haven't crossed the third, I can't get mad at nobody else. I got to be eligible. I got to get up there. And so same thing. Like I would just say, be what you expect and really be, think about unbiasedly. What's the word? Objectively. Do I deserve or do you deserve? Or, you know what I'm saying? What is it inside of you? And I think when you start being the best person that you can be, you know what I'm saying? That's when you can really, hold others accountable to trying to make yourself I stuttered a whole bunch over
that. That's okay.
Expecting somebody else to be the best they can be. Appreciate it.
I think too, how you're saying, am I worthy or are you eligible? And this is a funny, like with my wife, like she'll ask me. A lot of people will have New Year's resolutions and those kind of things, and every year my wife will ask me just to get the laugh because she knows what I'm gonna say. Like every year we've been together, she's asked me that, just in the conversation, and really, I tell her like, I just want to be a better person, just be a better me, and at the end of the day, just like you said, when you do those things, it makes you be the best that you can be for those around you, and being able to look at yourself, objectively, hey, I messed that up. I need to be better at that, or being able to adjust and not, like you said, one-sided. Expect this. Well, what am I giving?
Right.
What? And so I think when you can look at yourself and do those things, and your focus is, and that from an athletic perspective as well. And when you focus in on what you're doing, and you have laser focus, and you're zoomed in, everything else will fall in place because you're focused in on what you're supposed to focus in on, and all those outside distractions, you've eliminated them, and it's not even an issue.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you guys coming through. And
I have one more thing.
What you got?
So funny. So one of the things, we were watching a TD Jakes sermon, and he talked about he's a powerful man.
Yeah.
But he talked about praying for someone instead of just praying about them. Because there's a big difference praying for someone and then just praying about them. Because when you're praying about someone, you're just like, oh God, this person made me mad, and this, that. This is what they did wrong. They did this wrong. I don't like this about them. You're focused on you.
Yeah. What you want.
What I want from that person. And you're not even focused on, what's going on in this person's life?
Yeah.
What can I do to help that situation? Correct. And so that's one of the things that we've really worked on, is just praying for each other and not just about each other. And I feel like you can do that with any relationships that you're in, whether it's, you and your mom, or your friends, or, people at work. Instead of just praying about people, pray for them. God, something, I don't know what's going on in their life, but you do. And I'm trying to, understand them, but they're not, working with me. And so God, what can I do to help this issue, to be better and help the situation? And just, I feel like, give some situations to God. And that's one thing I've learned about, like, not everything needs a reaction. Not everything needs your commentary and, you lashing out and things like that. Some things just
or you're great.
Or right. Like,
because it's really about
it's about him. Yeah. Right. And so I feel like that's one thing that we've definitely worked a lot on. What do you smile like that? You see, this boy love me. He love me.
Girl, you be taking my stuff. She want to be me so bad.
I'm happy being me.
You my mini me.
Okay, Mr.
Oh, man. All right. So, from that, just, again, on a serious note, though, thank you guys for coming through. Just like I said, when I started the interview, both great people, deep folks, smart, great experiences, and just I think when you have two good people again in a relationship, man, look out, world.
Yeah.
And so I just want to send positive vibes you guys' way. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep. Man, it's amazing the things that you guys are doing and the differences that you're making, and so just continue to do that.